with that, I'll hand it over to Mary Beth. Thank you again.
Okay, so can everyone hear me?
I'm here.
My name is Mary Beth Garrison, people call me MB. I'm the External Affairs and Unit Manager for Rio Tinto US 4X. I've been at the mine about 8 years, and I've tried to do some good things with a lot of people that are unique. So my part of the presentation is to talk about the survey that was taken last October, November. Some of you took it, I know. Some of you had your friends and promoted taking it, which was a lesson to us. It was put on by a third-party company, so that none of us know who answered what. But we do have the information of the results. And from that, outpouring is one of the things that you want to hear from us. And so we heard that. And this is our first town hall since I've been in role. So I don't know if we had them before, but we're excited to be here. And I'm super excited that y'all took time out of your life to come tonight. So thank you very much. So our community survey told us a couple things. First off, about 3/4 of you really trusted us to do the right thing. And you expressed us being in the community. And in essence, you're proud that the largest open pit mine in California is right here in Boron. So that is a good thing. So there's drivers of trust, and that is listening to you and hearing what you have to say. So that's something that we learned, and we want to make sure that we continue to do. We manage our environmental risk, and tonight, as Rennie said, you'll hear a lot of different information about our environmental management. That we adhere to internal policies and external regulations, which, as you might imagine, there are a lot of external regulations that we need to adhere to. And so that's on top of mind all the time. Quality of contact. You said 75% of you said that whenever you meet someone in the community, overall, about 50% feel that we're committed to the health of our community. And some of that spilled over into the fact that you want community clinic, want more in that space. That's a hard thing for us. But I think if that conversation going externally, I think we might get there, right? And I would say that there was a certain number of that responded that just didn't know. And so that's why we want you to know. And we want you to tell the people you know, so that more other words gets around. So I know that's the first part. Here it is. I was focused on fun achievement from the last 6 months. Up there, right, was when that railroad crossing got here. That thing. And I heard the city, those railroad tracks. I had no idea. I Yeah. And so it cost us a pretty little penny, but gosh, are they, yeah. $100,000, the current county fire department. Now that was because we all sat and watched LA wildfires, and we felt like there was nothing. And we saw that Kern County Fire sent quite a regime of people to LA to fight for our neighbors down south. And we thought that was pretty special, because if something like that happened here, whatever that disaster might be, we certainly want them to reciprocate. So that was our way to say thank you. We also have about a third of our employees that live in Los Angeles County. So not everyone lives here. And so that was our way to honor them and their community and where they live. And then the lower right corner is our commitment to education. We were at a STEM Expo, and it has from all the way from Boron Ca. There were 4,500 kiddos there, and we talked about 200. Anyway, so the cool thing was that other high-tech places had grown at all these high-tech things. Big signs at our sign. You make it our right, right? So the big sign, and at the end, they're like, okay, it's over, and we still had a lot of kiddos wanting to make signs. We were the very last people to leave that expo. But you know what? 10 minutes of making slime does. It gives you a very good audience with kids that don't know what they're trying to do. And so we helped fill in that gap. We told them about who we are, about what kind of jobs we have, about they can go to university or they can graduate high school. And both of those people get a good job at US Forest. It was great. So I just want to say thank you all for coming tonight. You're going to hear a whole bunch more things. I do have a brand new place I know. Many of you are connected to nonprofits. Tomorrow is our foundation board. So tomorrow is the day all these nonprofits apply for a grant from a foundation of which US 4X fund. And so the junior senior high school has several applications for a variety of projects. The Boron Ca, Boron Aerospace, Eastern Community Foundation, Cornelius Museum, West Point Elementary School, Wildcat, Wind in the Willows. A lot of ones that we had before, but it's a new project. So that's exciting, a new project. We want to make sure that the nonprofits in this town, that all the heavy lifting are supported. So that's an exciting day for us. And so we'll give away checks. So I know everybody else can write check at me. We'll be giving away those probably the first. Okay. And we'll scholarship for you know, accept some kiddos for scholarships as well, which is always fun. So it's fun. So now I guess that's done. Okay, but the thing I was going to tell you is if you have a community thought, a community concern, idea, or if you just want to say, good job, but I have a new website or email address. US Forex Communities at Simple, but you can send it to that can't remember my email address. And. Okay, so up next, I talked about some of our environmental risks. Our next speaker is Matt Morris, and he is, well, I'm not even going to introduce what he's talking about. He will, and you'll realize he's not from around.
I'm actually pretty good at country. But hoping you can get it. But speaking of the design, one of the yes, that's a design. There doesn't have what we have. But this one was like from the house. Oh. One time. I have to preach, right? I'm on the front right, the overflow. If last thing, contact,
Thanks a lot. Yeah, but I'm not. I think the one. What you're looking is what. And how we can use it to benefit to our desert like. So we're looking at how we can invest in local stuff, how we can legislate, create jobs, create new jobs, create diversity jobs, so that I hope that this is the activities somewhere else. And we're also looking at how we're currently doing in actually, but as we okay. So an overview of our land holdings. Cross black light, that's all of our land holdings. We have our line right on the right side of that. We also own a lot of land. We own a lot of land, and I'm sure you will one day what we're currently doing the first that we don't want. So let's get back to crops. That's our conservation, and that's what we do to make sure that the environment around us is for appropriate stewards of the place. We conserve for several different species that will have the ground squirrels, the desert tortoise, conservation. And over 2,000 acres. We do what we can, make sure it's fixed off, make sure no people trespassing or off-road vehicles driving out there. Habitat, but they can live on the surface. This also is an offset from our land operations, like habitat, like prevents us from going. And to right that conservation south side with a little bit more to the but we're proposing a lot of land. So, like I mentioned before, we're planning for eventual mine closure, not anywhere in the future, but we do have to start planning this. Let's start developing this concurrently with mine operations. There are businesses that so with land development overview map shows what we're thinking about doing with this property. And it has to be the planning department for rezone 4,000 acres of land for industrial use in hopes of attracting other industrial that are the towards the environment as well. We'll come here, locate here, and just increase the economic tax base of this region. So why here? We're right off of the rails. Electric, we have water. Why not here? Why not just boron industrial hub? Prosperity.
Definitely energy on fire, right? They're gonna provide products. Street, they're gonna go real. Be there across possible. However, we're thinking about mine.
I was curious about what the contaminants would be in the tailings. What the contaminants would be in the tailings when you discuss the tailings of the overflow, if possible. What are the contaminants in that?
Yeah, so we got, yeah.
Chemicals, anything of that nature?
Does it say one? Yeah. So you pay actually looking on, right? Cool. Well, there's a page.
Cool.
Or some process. Yeah, so that's made it that. How long? Whereas.
Yeah, I not really. Our well. Well, we found water. As for abilities. But that's.
The land that Borax is kind of allocating towards future industry, is that going to remain owned by Borax and leased to these industry, or would that be owned by people purchasing this allocated land? Okay, I got it. Correct. Okay.
There's nothing in there right now. Practice economic. Some technology.
What's the main product mine now? It's just Borax? Okay. So no lithium, no cobalt, nothing of that nature? Okay.
Just the lithium we're doing, we actually. It's not the lithium market.
Yes, thanks. That's the private reserve.
Another marijuana over here. They did it illegal. Well, the sheriffs put that down, but now they've come back and they're just taking out water and trying to find out where I'm. Like, so much. Others was that one point we're on one state, so that we're on could actually act or get some money from Boron. Basically telling them they have to get,
That has been an ongoing conversation. That these current, not only but South City, North Edward, Bedford Lake, Rosamond, all of the communities in, incorporated county. Really feel that they don't. And the truth of the matter is, they cost a lot of money. And this is a really massive town. So what do we do? We need to be involved in the game. And we need to have a president that's concerned with it. Only hear from, you have to hear from the representatives. And I just get quiet. But I do think we can organize ourselves in that space. And we need to if it's overwhelming, we can't do it, right? And so we are the largest taxpayer in the county. That is 100% true. Measure change can go through, and there is some disability for the current county sheriff. But I think we can have more. And I'm looking at Sarah over here, and if you remember, the powerful presence that is there today. We have made progress. Made some progress. The revitalization of the community center is progress. The swimming pool is progress. But we just have to just continue to progress on our laurels. We need to identify what matters. We need to be most, and then get those person. The new county supervisor does want to help, but he can't help if it's just all over the board. Yet you don't have to understand what we need. So what is it? What and then organizing yourself, a tight knit community, and that's what everyone was telling me about Boron. I think you're right. We have to help ourselves. And that's what I was talking about, right? What is- to get to be, and then how many. So let's. Let's be honest. We're, well, you know. And long way. But if you shorten that distance by having good communication. And Karen, I won't call you out, but Karen is doing the big, she works with family turn, and she is taking big notes. Perfect. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Karen, thank you. Have a daughter. It's a love that's, so over the last year, I had privilege, flying with, that I've hired people. We didn't have a supervisor. So I was doing everything that I thought I was, and I ended up having politics, better work than 5%. Oh, and I had no. And I said, no, I'm for this. I started working here. Oh, you know, there's a tax cert. Nobody wants, nobody wants to leave. But everybody thinks, feels that nobody wants. Everybody from. All the ones that go. Right, that the county can have something that helps address this problem. I was kind of know exactly what you want done. Everybody. All of it. But big one-on-one. And put your. But everybody. Well, I think.
My biggest monetary amount, more on. Knows how much. That's a separate issue. How much is the county, what do we get back? It doesn't matter. But, you know, the thing is, different. Brags has to be back. It's not gonna help us, I'd rather than we're actually not paying it back. Okay, so, but, I don't know, okay. I think I guess. So, but there's a lot of talent in Brags too. You're looking at, you think, you have a problem with houses that's sitting here, people, circles going in, but these houses need torn down. Then this.
I met.
You got some good questions. Thank you for bringing all that stuff up. That's pretty decent.
We don't.
Because we may people who came from understand and they would fight. And so the guys we made like every 5 cents. You can't sell it for a lot more than what it costs now at Walmart or Amazon or what have you. But I do try to scope out the best deal. But it's the profit margin. But there's something about buying that box of borax at one of our museums that matters. Maybe we should contact people. No, no. I feel later. I also. That was. Yeah.
So there's two museums.
There's a visitor center,
Uh-huh.
around the visitor center, and there's forex, and then there's one.
Okay, so it's a visiting center, not a museum. Two museums. Same thing. For the same thing. Okay. Okay.
And, you know, they get, underground mine.
Okay.
The one up at the forex, we also touched on that.
Uh-huh.
So we go into what the processing is today.
For the mine.
Because we, you know, people can't just come in and I'm gonna take a tour.
Yeah.
So we give them a virtual tour.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's how we call that.
Okay, gotcha. So historic, one kind of current.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
They're-
awesome. Yep, it is awesome. Oh, real quick, just on that note, would you guys be opposed to having a transit system that went to like tour your mine or your museum to our museum? Like a bus or a shuttle? That way people could get the whole roundabout thing and they don't get lost in the shuffle. All right, perhaps.
And we, that is done by the bus,
Right.
but, Jerry was sent to the visitor center, my people was sent. For the meal.
Right. Yeah, I hear that. I was thinking that would be best for, I mean, not best, but I think that'd be a good idea just for both mines to get the equal foot traffic through them. Yeah.
Get that whole, that whole experience.
Okay. All right, cool. I like that.
Working pretty,
Along there, the roadways and place the road forward. Hotel, corporation are preparing to celebrate all this. How it will take impact of the people that
Great question. And the answer is right this minute. But, still on, there got some time here. So that's interesting. Now that it's my frog, then these guys will.
That's an awesome
But,
question.
so we are 150-year-old mine. So we have a couple years behind us as well. And we're very proud of that legacy as we are of the legacy. And so, yeah.
How many employees are now employed out of Brex? And what's the percentage of employees that live here in the local area, North Edwards, Desert Lake, and World?
We need an exact number. What are employees? There you go. They're out. And when I was talking to you, and so it's about 50, we talk about cars, it has shifted, and that's part of our loss in our town.
Well, that's just like the number of employees that are out there. I mean, thanks to technology. I mean, guys used to pack the bags, all the bags. Now you got packers that are packing it in bags and forklifts that are picking up a pallet, put it in a cargo. So, yeah, it's technology. It's just American technology. It costs them, employees their jobs.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That's why you heard what Alexa was saying, is that we are super excited about some of these partnerships. And while, the ones that we're carefully working with, they will only employ maybe 30 or 40, that's 30, 40 jobs that are kept in our town with generational families. And so we hope that we are now, what's happened in some mine sites, and the reason that we all need to have mine closure is their closures suddenly came upon them, and then the people didn't have any jobs. They weren't visionary. So we're trying to put on their cells and see what that looks like, what that can look like, and how it can ultimately still support our town. Because we do not want in whatever 2055 or whatever that date is, still in our one town going. We want to make sure that it is.
You ready to do another question? All that EULA site that we brought down?
Okay, great. So, now, yeah. We did that. Yeah, we did it really minor.
We do go to job fairs at the high school, and we do have HR people with us, and they are bringing applications, and they take those kids that they don't have a big vision for what their life is going to be, or what they want it to be, and but they're like, oh, I can work as a wax. So we still take those kids. They come in as laborers, they come in as janitors. But they work the site, they see what it is, and they see where they want to bid out. And as Ray said, then we have apprenticeship programs that take their hands. And we have people at the site who started as laborers and are now first class electricians. And it's all because you're for it.
How about summer programs for kids that are not graduates yet? They're, well, they'd be pre-graduate, so they would be still working, they're still in high school, but yet they have a summer program. Yeah. Work permits? Yeah. At 14, they're eligible for work permit.
Yeah, usually.
Gotcha.
Um, do you have like it's any type of reentry programs that would for employment? Any type of reentry programs for employment? Like returning citizens, people who've been to prison.
Which is kind of big.
It's just job. It's just work. Yep.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. Now, how often do you expect to do these meetings? Not scheduled yet?
That's fair.
Okay. It's awesome. No, it's good dialogue. I mean, it's good. Quarterly?
Yeah, once a quarter.
Yeah. Because it doesn't just work for you guys, it works for the community.
Right.
So lots of things can get vented or discussed
And
during those times.
And what I would like to also ask is are you guys considering partnering with people in town and businesses in town prior to bringing in new companies and stuff like that?
A mobile app, and they are now delivering.
Awesome.
And everything else is one. So, very effective. We're only in our first week of having multiple sites, on-site, multiple drop-off locations. But we anticipate that it will help, Caesar's bottom line.
Yeah.
Significantly. And so that's part of the other one that we're working on is transitioning all our shirt embroidery to our
Carl's. That's big.
So, yeah, the answer is yes. And so if it's an idea that makes sense for us, you know, well, then I will look at it.
I would love to speak to you about that then. Okay.
So what's the projection for that? For how long?
Like when will that?
You're attempting to bring in companies. Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, okay. Gotcha.
What we're looking at.
No,
So we're, like I mentioned before, we've applied to the current county
Mm.
to get this zoning permit. So that environmental process.
About 10 years.
So let it be known that don't come talk to us.
Okay. Right. Wait, what are they? Okay.
get a good path. But she was the young lady that we gave her scholarship to. Went to culinary school, she came back and she is really free. So, you know, it is a victory, it makes my heart proud. And it's really good. So, from a K-pop, I know some of you ate for 4 hours. Anyway, you care about the community, you value your input. Good job. No, we're not perfect. Very best. We're doing our best. So I have to be engaged, involved, and connected with the child. So, thank you for your time. That was very key, but thank you for